try it again. Good morning. Thank you. Just want to make sure everybody's awake with the heat outside and everything. For those of you who I don't know, I'm Ron Cino. I'm the head of school here at Worcester Academy. It's my pleasure to welcome not only our students and our faculty to today's Academic Awards Assembly, but also the many guests that have joined us today, friends, family. It's a pleasure to have you all with us for this celebration of academic achievement. School exists for many reasons. One of the most important reasons, of course, is academic growth. But a lot of the students that come up here represent the hard work that a lot of our other students put in as well. It's a long assembly. It's one that's important. It's one that we like to have every year in public in a large forum because the work of these students is worth honoring in front of everyone. But I also want to make sure that we create an inclusive feeling to this. We have a really hard-working student body. Now is an incredibly challenging time in the academic year, both for the adults and for the students. A lot of projects are coming to fruition. A lot of sort of ultimate assessments are taking place. There's a lot of folks worried about AP exams and SATs and all kinds of other things that have implications for your future. But let's not forget that the purpose of this is learning and growth, first and foremost. And that's really what we're celebrating here today, alongside the achievement. Before we get deeper into the program, I want to ask our Visual and Performing Arts Department Chair, Mr. Don Irving, to come up and lead us in the Academy.
Bum, bum, you're the person who knows to sing a cappella. Here we go. To you.
Mr. Irving will count as one of his great career achievements that we sing this song happily and proudly. It's my pleasure now to introduce Mrs. Christina Ginty, who will present 2 awards named in honor of her.
Good morning. Good morning. I have the opportunity this morning to present 2 awards in memory of my parents. who are faculty members here at Worcester Academy. From 1956 till, I think it was 2000. The first is the Robert J. Mackle Award, given by vote of the faculty from a scholarship fund established in memory of my father, Robert J. Mackle, who was a teacher of English and a coach of athletics from 1956 to 1978. The recipient shall be distinguished for effort in English and enthusiasm in sportsmanship and athletics. This year's recipient is currently taking World Lit II honors, where she shines. She enjoys literature, reads carefully, and participates thoughtfully in our discussions. She has also been a 2-year member of the girls' varsity volleyball team. She is highly skilled in the position of setter and works diligently to improve her technique. For those of you who may not know, her coach wrote, the center does most of the work out of anyone on the court. So she is a very, very hard worker on the team. She is also an enthusiastic and supportive team member as well. Whether on the court or on the sidelines, she is one of the loudest in the gym, despite her size. As a sophomore, she was an incredibly important team member who ran our offense nearly every game. For most of the 2017 season, she also led the team in service aces per set. She also led the team in assists. She is an aggressive and smart player. She plays in a calculated and direct way that makes her a fierce competitor. Her team competes at very large regional tournaments and has found great success under her leadership. I'd like Angela Scamacci to come up, please. The second award that I have an opportunity to present this morning is the Janet Mackle Award. This is an award given by vote of the faculty, once again, in memory of Janet Mackle, my mother, who was a member of the WA community for 38 years. 16 of them as head nurse. That's a lot of time. The recipient shall be an upper school student who's been here for more than 1 year, with preference given to a senior, who has grown through his or her experience at the academy, who displays good character and is a solid member of the school community. This recipient is a kind, friendly student who works incredibly hard and is consistently a positive presence on campus, whether she's giving a tour in the library or working in the library. She's been a strong student and has devoted many hours to helping others outside the WA community. She has grown immensely while at Worcester Academy and will be a difference maker in years to come. She was last year's recipient of the Vernon Community Service Award, and I am proud to present this year's Janet Mackle Award to Gabby Bull.
Good morning. I would like to call and introduce the cum laude 2018 cum laude inductees. As I call your name, please come up and receive your pin from Mr. Sino. Andrew Alper. And if you could just hold for applause to the end, I'll read the group's name. Chiname Amici. Siyu Chen. Yushin Deng. Rachel Diodati. Courtney Haley. Tara Knobloch. Lillian McLean. Jackson Nichols Worley. And kids, I want you to remain up here because we're going to get a picture at the end. Rachel O'Keefe. Jinyun Park. Daviana Perez. John Petro. Tea Katipi. Raymond Reeves. Duke Tren. And Kanji Zhang. Next, we'd like to announce our extracurricular awards, and as I call each student's name, I would just like you to please stand to a place to be recognized. First is the Lance Prize, to honor that student whose work has been outstanding through the year. The recipient is Alexandra Alex Lightis. The next extracurricular award is the Legomathenian Cup for excellence in debate. Would Ava DeAngelis please stand? Our next award is for Powers, awarded to that member of the staff who has done the most for the yearbook. And this is a shared honor. Would Rachel O'Keefe and Gabriella Old please stand? And the final extracurricular award prize goes to the Begonia Prize, awarded to that member of the staff who has done the most for the school newspaper. And the recipient is Kathika Bathini. Please stand.
Now we'll begin to distribute our departmental awards. Our department chairs are sitting up here to my left. Just to acknowledge them as a group for a moment. They do an incredible amount of work, not only as outstanding teachers within the school, but also as academic leaders in their respective departments, trying to translate our mission, our values, our goals into action inside the classroom every day and working with their colleagues within the given department. So I just want to take a minute to thank them for all the work that they do on a regular basis. Our first presenter from this group is our mathematics department chair, Mrs. Teresa Zuck.
Good morning. Our first award is the Algebra Achievement Prize, given to that algebra student who has shown the greatest proficiency and interest in algebra during the year. This year's recipients are Owen McCarthy and Grace Ellis. Our next award is the Geometry Achievement Award, given to that geometry student who has shown the greatest proficiency and interest in geometry. This year's recipients are Andre Mukin and Sam Rothschild. Our next award is Donald A. Bloom Mathematics Achievement Award to that 9th, 10th, or 11th grader who has shown the greatest interest and proficiency in mathematics during the year. This year's recipient is UA Jerry Zoe. Our final award is the C.H. Bartleman Mathematics Award, awarded to the senior who has shown the greatest interest and proficiency in mathematics. This year's recipients are Courtney Haley and Boon Choo Choi. Our next presenter is the English Department Chair, Ms. Dana Hunt.
Good morning. So our first award is called the Clarion Award, and it is given to a freshman for outstanding effort and achievement in English. We have 2 recipients. They ask Allison Miller and Owen McCarthy to please come. Our 10th grade award is the Elizabeth J. Cotton Sophomore English Prize. It's given to a sophomore English student who, in the opinion of the English department, has shown the greatest interest and ability in the study of English. And I would like to introduce Ms. Elizabeth Cotton to offer the award to our winners this year.
When I heard that this sophomore English prize was to be presented to 3 students this year, I was both surprised and disappointed. You might wonder why I say disappointed, because I wish that I had had the opportunity to teach these 3 students. The first recipient was written about by his teacher, Mr. Bailey. This recipient is, among other things, a Renaissance man in the traditional sense. And as a student of English literature, he excels in every facet of this course. His enthusiasm for discussions, his competitive passion for recitation in and out of school, his curiosity, and his mastery of the written word all make him an excellent candidate for this honor. He searches for new angles and historically relevant perspectives so that his approach to each topic is as genuine as possible. Most importantly, he seems to genuinely love what he reads, grasping it intellectually while feeling it emotionally. That in itself is a laudable quality. Rohan Krishnan is one of our recipients. Our next award winner was written about by Mr. Mo. Especially, I want you to remember these are Mr. Mo's words in his first line. Kind and courteous, diligent and devoted, and like wicked perspective. This student has excelled in the World Lit 2 course. As a writer, he has produced the strongest essay written on Catcher in the Rye that Mr. Mo has ever read. This individual has ideas and they have syntactical style. What's more, this student pushes himself to grow in areas he doesn't easily excel in. But perhaps most impressive is the way he comports himself on a daily basis alongside his peers. He is someone who is full of ideas and insight, yet selfless in his attention to his classmates during discussion. Despite the fact that he always has something good to say, he genuinely cares about and wants to hear what his classmates have to say and works to draw them into conversation. Joe Mioto is pretty much doing what his teacher aspires to do. Joe? One more. Catherine Paul wrote these words. This recipient's reputation for having a gift for reading Shakespeare preceded her arrival to Honors World Lit 2 last year. To Honors World Lit 2. Last year, she was an amazing Lady Macbeth in our school's production. People kept telling me how I'd be impressed when I saw the 9th grader that was cast, and I was. On the first day of school this year, she walked into my classroom, saw a large poster of William Shakespeare on the wall, sat down, sighed, and said she knew she was in her happy place. It turns out Macbeth was just a beginning. She kept reading Shakespeare's plays and is well on her way to having read all 37 of them. She has read biographies of the Bard as well and has also begun to explore plays by his contemporary Christopher Marlowe. In addition to being a proud fan, she is also an excellent writer whose ode to her Shakespeare socks will be featured in this year's Lance. Her friends know when to get her. Anything Shakespeare. from books to Band-Aids. We honor Tess O'Leary with this award. Her growing talent as a Shakespeare scholar, which makes her a pleasure to teach, but also for the wonderful energy and enthusiasm she brings to English class each day.
Johnson Class of 73 Memorial Award is given to that member of the junior class who, having successfully completed his or her junior year at Worcester Academy, has distinguished himself or herself through a strong interest in English and athletics. This year's recipient is Gabrielle Coco Arcon. Junior English Prize is presented to that junior most outstanding in English. And to award our winner this year, I would like to invite Howard Shainheit to the stage.
Nice and low. Perfect little guy. Those of you who know me, I always like to do things a little differently, so I'm going to do two things that are a little different. First of all, I'm going to remind everybody that knows me that I'm a Yankee fan. They just won 9 out of the last 10. Those of you back there that would like to boo, you're welcome. The second thing I'm going to do is publicly embarrass the winner by asking her to come up now and stand here while I proclaim her many virtues. So, would Diana Lee please come up? Sorry, Diana, I should have said come down. You're up at the top of the mountain. Diana is a student in Mrs. Thorne's AP English Language and Composition class. Mrs. Thorne writes that not only is Diana's writing beautifully crafted, but she also enjoys researching authors and works under study, purely for enrichment. Mrs. Thorne noted that when she nominated Diana for this award, she was impressed by the number of teachers who had complimentary things to say about her, many commenting on her engaging manner and excellent organizational ability. You are also, I understand, a gifted musician and vocalist. Robert, congratulations.
The Ralph A. Hughes Senior English Prize is given to that English student who, in the opinion of the English department, has shown greatest interest and ability in the study of English. This year's recipient is Daviana Perez. award is the English as a Foreign Language Prize given to the English as a Foreign Language student who has shown the greatest effort and improvement in the acquisition of English. This year's recipient is Tingyu Lily Yang. Introduce our World Languages Department Chair, Mr. Timothy Markey.
It's my proud privilege to present the awards in the 4 languages, classical and modern, that Worcester Academy teaches. The first is the Richardson French Prize at the elementary level, which goes to a student who, in the opinion of the French program, has shown the greatest interest and progress in the study of the French language. This goes to Katie Liu. The Richardson French Prize at the advanced level goes to Gabrielle Coco. The Elementary Spanish Prize is awarded to the Spanish student who has shown the greatest ability and effort in the study of the Spanish language. And this recipient today is Adam Zidney. The Advanced Spanish Language Award goes to Tea Katipi. The Advanced Spanish Literature Prize goes to the student who has shown the greatest ability and effort in the study of Spanish literature. And today's recipient is Daviana Perez. The Henry Wood Fowler Latin Prize has an elementary and advanced level as well. And the elementary award, which goes in memory of Henry Wood Fowler, 1894, I take it, to encourage the study of Latin, is Marie Way. the Henry Wood Fowler Latin Prize at the advanced level goes to Brendan Carroll. Mandarin students have 2 levels as well, elementary and advanced, and it's awarded at both levels to the student who has shown the greatest ability and effort in the study of the Mandarin language. The first recipient, elementary level, is Lucas LaRoche. Again, going to the student who has shown the greatest ability and effort in the study of the Mandarin language is John Pietro. The awards in the Department of Visual and Performing Arts is the chairman of Visual and Performing Arts, Mr. Bob Irving. In Visual and Performing Arts, we recognize students who have been taking part in music, in visual arts, and in theater. We're going to start out with the James Allard Music Prize. This was established February 2014, given by Edward and Richard Reynolds, memorial of beloved musician and Worcester Academy teacher James Allard. This prize is awarded annually to one upper school student who possesses the following attributes, among others: exceptional character and spirit of achieving the honorable, generosity and creative spirit exemplified through outstanding composition skills. To present this prize, we have Donna Millard, Jim's wife, and Al Beaudre, our colleague and Jim's great friend.
Thank you. This is the 4th time we honor Jim with this award. And for any of you, or any of us in this room who knew Jim and remember Jim, we are all truly blessed to have his life touch us in the time that he was here. For those of you who didn't know Jim, to really just put his essence in synopsis, I think was something that Ms. Peter Leitner said shortly after the time of his passing, which was, Jim was the type of person that if he asked you how things were going or how you were feeling, you better think about what you would say, because he would listen and respond and dialogue. And that's the generosity that Jim offered, and also in many other ways. And Jim was that type of person that we honor today. So to do the pleasure and honors of our recipient, Donna Howard.
Thank you so much. This year is a little unique. It's the first time that the student receiving his music prize did not have the pleasure, I would say, to be a student of Jim's. Jim, just a little bit further, for over 45 years, worked as a performing artist, recording artist, and an educator. And his spirit was such that he felt that music truly was the universal language, and he was very concerned about people's love of music, their understanding of it, and their spirituality combined with that. And he really, I think, imparted that to the students. And for that,
I understand that this year's student would be very special in Jim's eyes. He is a woodwind specialist. He's alto and baritone, but as well, he played the drums, which was interesting because Jim started out playing the drums when he was about 6 years old. And then woodwinds became his primary acts, as you would say. So this year's recipient has developed skills in the wind ensemble. He's a freshman this year. Since his freshman year. He's graduating. And this recipient is Dan Sullivan. Jim had a recording just before he died. He finally finished what he had been working on for many years, is his compositions that are, and it's called The Wait. And this CD I'd like to present to Dan so he'll get to know Jim.
The Alumni Music Award has two recipients. The first is noted particularly for his participation in instrumental music, Jared Smith. And the second for participation in vocal music, William Henson. Sieber Edwards Fine Arts Prize. Awarded by Mrs. Sieber Edwards to honor the memory of her husband, Ms. Sieber Edwards, class of 1887, for consistent excellence in drafting and sketching, and it goes to Raymond Reeves. I just have to say I knew these two kids in our summer camp when they were little, so I've known them a long time. This is an art award, Gerald Feldman Art Award, established by his classmates in memory of Gerald Feldman, class of 71. Two recipients, Marina Chimpano and Fiona Price. The Alumni Art Award, at the discretion of the Art Department of the Visual Performing Arts Department, to recognize merit, goes to two people, Yang Kim-yu, Lily, and Michelle Lee.
The Diana Canterbury Theatre Award is awarded to that student who exemplifies the dedication to theatre process and the sense of ensemble that Ms. Canterbury modeled for her students over her 25 years of teaching at Worcester Academy. As founder and primary developer of a rich and rewarding academic and extracurricular theatre program, Ms. Canterbury established a high artistic standard that continues to inform the work of students and faculty at the school. And the recipient is Jordan Cooper. Dorothy Rader Award, given by the Thimble Club. The Thimble Club was an organization of all the ladies of Worcester Academy, and I think what's left over mainly is a bank account. Is that not true? Yes. And it still funds this. This is wonderful. And Dorothy Rader was the person who did the Academy hymn at this school for many years in its old form, which I should sing to you someday. So, Dorothy Rader Award, given by the Thimble Club in memory of Dorothy S. Rader, 1900 to 1970. This award is presented to an underclass student for excellence in music with a hope that it will assist that student's musical education. And I believe it will. That person is Megan Dickey. Now I present for the Science Department, Eileen Lassen.
The Cloyd E. Small Biology Prize is given in memory of Cloyd E. Small, a Worcester Academy faculty member from 1922 to 1966, for noteworthy progress and achievement in biology. Our recipient is Olivia Rondazzi. The George Andes Junior Year Science Award is given to that member of the junior class deemed most outstanding in sciences. We have two recipients this year, Gabrielle Coco Arcon and Yingxi Diana Lee. Book Award was established by the Thimble Club in February 1992 with gifts given in memory of Alan Glazer, father, husband, and friend. This prize is given to an underclassman of good character who has shown a strong interest in science. Preference is given to a member of the freshman class. Our recipient is Zoe Alpert. Is given to the member of the junior class who, in the opinion of the head of school, in consultation with the math and science faculty, most demonstrates outstanding initiative, curiosity, and competence in the fields of astronomy, physics, chemistry, mathematics, and related disciplines. We have 2 recipients this year, Zishuan Jacqueline and Eric Chen. Outstanding Computer Science Award is given to a senior who has shown a high level of interest and talent in computer science courses taken in Worcester Academy. Throughout her 3 years of computer science classes at Worcester Academy, this recipient has consistently demonstrated excellence in and passion for the field. Her commitment and success in computer science are clear through each challenge she has taken on. In her role as a peer tutor, organizing a girls' computer science club, working summer jobs in computing, and researching for her graduation capstone project, hacking. She is a most deserving recipient of the Irving B. Freeman Award and will go on to accomplish great things in her future pursuits of computer science at NYU School of Engineering and beyond. Our recipient is Rachel O'Keefe.
The History Department presents 4 awards, one for each grade level, to the student who, in the judgment of the department, has shown the greatest interest in history, grades 3 through 12. So the 9th grade History Award goes to 2 recipients, Zoe Albert and Ron Nickelberg. And the 10th grade History Award goes to Rohan Christian. And the 11th grade award is the John A. Bloom U.S. History Award. This goes to a repeat winner in the History Department, Cormac C.C. Collins. And the 12th grade award is the Caleb R. Woodhouse History Award. This goes to another repeat history winner and my former advisee, Courtney Haley.
We have a series of awards named for Mr. Herbie Ross, class of 1946, longtime Worcester Academy trustee and benefactor who passed away recently. He's a Hall of Famer at Worcester Academy, and he'll be acknowledged during reunion festivities again this weekend. The Herbie S. Ross Class of 46 Speaker Award is given to that student who, in the opinion of the faculty, best exemplifies attributes in the tradition of oratory at Worcester Academy. This year's recipient is Yingxi Diana Lee. Music Award is given to that student, or in this case, those students, who, in the opinion of the faculty, have made a significant contribution to the Academy's music program. This year's recipients are Andrew Alpert and Sophia Valletta. S. Ross Theater Award is given to that student who, in the opinion of the faculty, has made a significant contribution to the Academy's theater program. This year's recipient, Sebastian Ortiz. Presented to that member of the Lego-Mathenian Society, who, in the opinion of the faculty, best exemplifies attributes in the tradition of debate at Worcester Academy. This year's recipient, Rohan Krishna. Faculty member Mr. Wayne Bolden, who will present this year's postgraduate year award.
The postgraduate year award. Is awarded to the student who epitomizes the purpose and the value of the postgraduate year through a combination of academic success, leadership, and significant contribution to at least 2 extracurricular activities, and growth through the boarding experience. The students make most of their postgraduate year, and in doing so has enriched the Worcester Academy community. This year's winner is Devontae Reed. Devontae is the model student athlete for all Worcester Academy athletes that emulate. He is respectful, caring, dedicated, and very intelligent. Furthermore, adversity really showed his character. When things got very difficult during the season, his injury that terminated his football season in the 3rd game, Devontae continued to be the consummate professional. He listened, he understood, and took control of the situation. He continued to lead the team from the sideline. From day one, Devontae fully embraced the postgraduate experience here at Worcester Academy. He has worked hard at becoming a leader on and off the field. Devontae understands his time spent here at Worcester Academy has enabled him to understand the demands that will be facing while working for a degree and playing football at Trinity College next fall. As Coach Solo said, every day, Devontae wakes up and attacks the day with one question: how can I make myself in the school better? And with that attitude and work ethic, this young man will change the world someday. Congratulations, Devontae.
We have two more awards here this morning. The first is the Pamela Lefferts Cultural Exchange Award, and it's my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Pamela Lefferts herself.
Well, hello, Worcester Academy. It's nice to be here. I spent many years on this campus, living in the dorms, working with our international students, and then traveling the world to visit with our international alumni. The Pamela Lefferts Cultural Exchange Award is awarded to that student for whom English is a second language, who is fully integrated with the student body and has embraced the campus community. The award recipient will demonstrate a passion for cultural exchange by sharing his or her culture, while also learning and experiencing other world cultures from members of the Worcester Academy community. This award is not about academics. It's not about the arts. It's not about athletics. It's about citizenship, global citizenship. It's meant to recognize a young person who's willing to open their heart and minds to the differences of those around them, with a passion to peacefully exist. Today, the world is changing at an amazing pace. Countries who have been enemies for years are now sitting at the same table peacefully. Countries who were once allies have taken up arms against each other. Violent uprisings, acts of terrorism continue to shake our world. What can you do? What difference can you make? You can. With one gesture, one smile, one hand reaching out in friendship to someone who doesn't speak your language or eat your foods, to someone with a different culture or religion, a classmate, a teammate, a neighbor. You can learn much from each other, and with understanding comes peace. This is how we can all make a difference. I know one young lady in this room has already started her journey to make this world a better place. She has attended Worcester Academy since 2015. She's an accomplished pianist and performs regularly for both upper and middle school programs. And she shares her music abilities, not only with you, but with the disadvantaged children in this neighborhood. She volunteers as the co-director of Afternoon Tunes. She loves learning different languages and tutors middle school in Mandarin. This young woman has taken the time to learn about your culture, to understand your customs. She has enjoyed tasting your foods, listening to your music, and sharing her customs and cultures. She's proven herself to be a natural leader and a passionate humanitarian, and she's made a huge difference on this campus and in this community. A native of Beijing, China, and described by her advisor as gentle, thoughtful, and enthusiastic, I'm proud to call Diana Winfrey.
offer a special acknowledgement of all of our guest presenters here today and point out two strategic things. First, well, 2 points, I guess. First, I wait until they're all done and I'm the last one at the microphone because I don't trust any of them. And two, Mr. Schoenheit is a passionate Yankee fan. He was an English teacher, math, I think he's pretty good. But it's 10 out of 11 wins, I believe, Mr. Schoenheit. So we're one ahead, we're getting closer. We're going to catch the Sox eventually. But, oh, come on, I don't know how I feel about this. But wait, that doesn't bother us. Anyway, we invented booing in New York. You missed that. Hang out in the right field bleachers. So, this is an award, the last award that we present today, again, is not an academic award. It's an award that represents many of the values and the spirit of what Mrs. Lefferts was talking about. It's one I know that I think she's pretty proud of as well. It's the Vernon Junior Service Award. Mr. Alan Vernon, class of 1972, has funded the Vernon Junior Service Award, established in the spring of 2015. Mr. Vernon is an accomplished businessman, given his time to numerous nonprofit organizations, including Big Brothers and Big Sisters of America, the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, and the Wang Center for Performing Arts. He's also shown a tremendous interest in educational institutions, not only Worcester Academy, where he served on the board, but also Hofstra University's alma mater. In recognition of Mr. Vernon's lifelong passion for community service, he awards each year Worcester Academy Junior with this award because he wants to find people who share the same passion for philanthropy. And so this award is interesting. There's a $2,500 prize that goes to the student who wins the award to use as he or she sees fit in their personal lives. There's $7,500 that they have to use in the name of philanthropy. They pick a cause that they're passionate about. We work with them to try to establish that relationship if they're one that isn't already in existence. Last year's winner, Gabrielle Ohl, was able to help out an organization that she's particularly passionate about and sharing music with young people here in Worcester. This year's winner has done a tremendous amount of work in the Worcester Public Schools. She's brought passion to this campus as she's brought passion to those campuses as well. And it's my pleasure to present this year's Vernon Junior Service Award to Nicole Ramirez. So actually, besides making fun of Mr. Schoenheit, what I meant to do over here before was actually acknowledge these folks whose names are forever part of Worcester Academy's legacy for various reasons, particularly here today, but also because they are Hall of Famers themselves. They are folks who taught a lot of us how to be educators, how to be citizens in this community, what it meant to be part of Worcester Academy, to put the school above yourself. And for that, I'm always grateful to all of you. So thank you. So as we release folks to the rest of the day, I think award winners, maybe one more round of pictures up here with the schools and their families. And then award winners also and faculty are welcome to come to Abercrombie House after the reception. Thank you very much.